Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. I wanted to do another video really quick. This is on the homeless again in Seattle. And I came across an article which I found to be very interesting, and I wanted to read some of it. And upon reading some of it, I also wanted to um, kind of give my ideas on what I think about it. And you can maybe comment in the comments below and let me know exactly what you think. But it says here, while other tech giants are funding housing initiatives, Amazon is opening a homeless shelter inside its headquarters. As big tech gets bigger, industry leaders have begun making more noise about helping homeless populations, particularly in those regions where high salaries have driven up the cost of living to heights not seen before. Last January, for example, Facebook and the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, among other participants, formed a group called the Partnership for the Bay's Future. That's down in San Francisco and stuff. That said, it was going to commit hundreds of millions of dollars to expand affordable housing and strengthen low income tenant protections in the five main counties in and around San Francisco. Microsoft, meanwhile, made a similar pledge in January of last year, promising $500 million to increase housing options in Seattle, where low and middle income workers are being priced out of the city and its surrounding suburbs. 500 million to us, that'd be a lot of money. 500 million would be a lot of money. But if you think about it, and you know they're going to pad the cost, 500 million is not very much money at all. It's just a drop in the bucket to what really needs to be done, but it is a good drop in the bucket and a major start. Now it says here, Amazon has made similar pledges in the past, with CEO Jeff Bezos pledging $2 billion to combat homelessness, to fund a network of Montessori inspired preschools in underserved communities. Preschool in underserved communities. Okay. As he said in a statement posted on Twitter at the time in September 2018. Now, however, Amazon is taking an approach that immediately raises the bar for its rivals in tech. It is opening up a space in its Seattle headquarters it's making it into a homeless shelter. One that's expected to become the largest family shelter in the state of Washington. Business insiders reported the news earlier today, and it says the space will be available to accommodate 275 people each night. That's not a lot of people considering you got about 12,000 that are homeless. And it will offer individuals private rooms for families who are allowed to bring pets. It also features an industrial kitchen that's expected to produce about 600,000 meals per year. The space is scheduled to open in the first quarter of the new year and is part of the partnership Amazon has enjoyed for years with a nonprofit called Mary's Place. Now, this is something I didn't know. I've been down on Jeff Bezos for his business practices and other things, but if this is all true, and I will give this a look into and see, because I know Mary's Place. I know some people that work there. I know some people that are in the high echelon in management there. So I'll call them and I'll find out for sure, and I'll report back in another video. It says here that has been operating a shelter out of a Travelodge hotel on Amazon's campus since 2016. Well, if they're allowing that to happen and Jeff Bezos is allowing that to be operated out of his campus, then he can't be all bad. The new space, which BI says will have enough beds and blankets for 400 families each year, isn't just owned by Amazon, but the company has offered to pay for the nonprofit's utilities, maintenance, and security for the next 10 years. That's pretty dang good. As long as Mary's Place needs it. So, as long as Mary's Place needs it, Jeff Bezos is willing to pay that. Now, in the wide scheme of things, Jeff Bezos isn't really doing anything. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way, because Jeff Bezos is offering to do all this, but financially, that's just like if I reach in my pocket and I pull out some money to buy something and several quarters fall out onto the ground. I'm not really going to miss those quarters. But, that's kind of like with what Jeff Bezos is doing. He's hardly, the money he's spending, he's not going to miss it. BI noted that the shelters will make a mere dent in Seattle's homeless population, which includes 12,500 people in King County, where Seattle is located, but it's still notable, not least because of the company's willingness to house a shelter in its own headquarters, but because they're willing to put it in their own headquarters. Typically, shelters operate like this. Now, I'll explain for people that don't know. I've lived in shelters and I've worked for shelters. I've lived in various places, and when I lived in Seattle, I worked at the Downtown Emergency Service Center. Shelters operate like this. They get you in way late at night after everybody goes home. Then they get you out early in the morning before everybody comes into work. Because the workers don't want to see the homeless. They don't mind the homeless being there. They just don't want to see them. It is a move that no other tech company of which we're aware of has taken. The decision always underscores other cities' equivocation over whether their own growing homeless population should receive support. You can't make them more comfortably homeless. That's the thing. You don't want them to stay homeless. You want them to become unhomeless. You want them to get into an apartment. You want them to be a productive society. It's just one memorable instance. After San Francisco, Mayor London Breed last March floated an idea of turning a parking lot into the city's Embarcadero, taking a parking lot along the city's Embarcadero into a center that would provide health, housing services, and stays for up to 200 of the city's 7,000 plus homeless residents. Neighboring residents launched a campaign to squash the proposal. It was later passed anyway, but the neighborhood ain't going to like it. The neighborhood says you got to do something about the homeless, and as soon as you do, they make a stink. Vox noted in a report about Microsoft's $500 million pledge that many of these corporate efforts tend to elicit two types of reactions, either admiration for the company's efforts or frustration over the publicity these initiatives receive. After all, it's hard to forget that Amazon paid no federal tax in the U.S. in 2018 or more than $11 billion in profits before taxes. The company also threatened in 2018 to stop construction in Seattle if the city passed a tax on major business that would have raised money for affordable housing. Okay, well, you can't force people to do stuff. You have to talk to them, and they need to feel like they're the ones doing the good instead of being forced. Nobody likes to be forced into doing anything. You want to walk away feeling like you did a good deed. It makes you feel good. It makes the city feel good. It makes the residents feel good. Everybody feels good. So anyway, this is to be seen. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if it'll happen. But if it does, more power to Jeff Bezos. You're starting to get a pass from me, Jeff. Now just pay your taxes like you're supposed to. We don't want you to pay more taxes because you're rich. We just want you to pay the amount that you're supposed to pay. And if that's a little too stringent on you, talk to him and say, hey, can I get a smaller deal? and chances are they'll work with you. Just pay the amount of taxes you're supposed to pay, and everything will be fine. On that note, I'm going to let you go. If you like my videos, please give it a big old thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the videos, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to pass it along, go ahead. If you have an idea that goes along with this video, please put it in the comments below. If you think you know something that I don't about this particular video, please put a comment below. If you got an idea for a better video, please put it in the comments. I'd love to converse with you. I am not here for an argument, but if you want a heated debate and it's something that's productive, I'll debate with you. I will. Anyway, I'm going to let you go, Seattle, America, and beyond. This has been All Things Considered. Happy New Year to everybody, and I will see you next year.